Shalom, it's Levi Shore. Welcome back to Swinga Torah. We are blessed to have Rabbi Mordehay Darwish with us again. And we're going to do Maaseh Bereishit. We're going to do the third day of creation. I think we'll just jump right in. Let me see if I can get the Pasukim up here on the screen. And we will start day 3. Okay. So the next pasuk that begins day 3 is Vayomer Elokim Yikavu Hamayim Mitachas Hashamayim. And Elokim, the aspect of din and justice of Hashem, of God, he says, let the waters be gathered beneath the heavens, beneath the sky. El makom echad, to one place. V'seira'eh hayabasha vayichi chein. And then the dry land may appear, and it was so. Any thoughts?
For sure. So if you look at the third word, you have yikavu, right? Yikavu. That's like a root of what we know to be a mikveh. Mikveh is a body of water that's not touched by man, and we know that that water makes a person holy if a person would dip in it, right? If a person has some kind of impurity, or as the Arizal would like to say that he didn't find anything that's more purifying to the soul as the mikveh. So you see that something's being created over here. Mitachat Hashemayim, obviously under the skies, and makom echad, right? And we said that makom, if you look at the numerical value of makom, is 186. If you take God's merciful name, which is the Yud, the Hey, the Vav, and the Hey, and you multiply each letter by itself, that means Yud times Yud would be 100. Hey times Hey would be 25, Vav times Vav would be 36, and Hey times Hey again would be 25. You would have 186, right? And it's the same numerical value as Makom. Makom is alluding to God, right? And then the next word is Echad, right? That the one is doing this, right? And then you see that the land is being like seen. Right, it's all there. It's just like being uncovered. And when you separate things, that's when you can uncover things. When everything's just like one big glob, you don't see that. You see just like one big unity. But when you separate, you can see distinction. That's what I would say for that.
Yeah, so I've heard, I believe I remember learning a concept that the mikveh, like the waters of the mikveh, because it's pure rainwater, the rain's coming right from Shemayim, and it's connected to Shemayim. That's why a person can't handle any of the water. A person can't gather the water in a utensil and move it. So because it's connected to Shemayim, it has the Tahara, it has the spiritual, the positive spiritual energy of Tahara, and then it has the power to get out the negative spiritual energy and bring us back to a state of Tahara. And then the concept of Makom, that was incredible what you said about the relationship with the Gematrias. The concept of Makom, that Hashem is called, Hamakom, the place. And actually the whole universe is in the middle of this infinite being. And Hashem, the infinite being, the Ein Sof, he is the place of all the universe. The one place, the Echad, the unity. I apologize if I'm repeating anything you said. And then the dry land appears because we can't live for whatever reason. Like we talked about this on day 2, like water, Mayim is Torah, but Hashem didn't want us to live purely in the water. He wanted us to live on the land and then connect to the water. And then we see the place where we can live appear, so now we go to the next pasuk here. So Vayikra Elokim Layabasha Eretz. And Hashem calls the dry land. He calls this earth. He calls this the earth, the Eretz, the land, the earth. Ula mikveh hamayim. And the gathering of the waters, kara yamim. He calls these oceans. Vayareh Elokim kitov. And then God saw, Elokim saw this, that it was good. And so we saw on the second day, Hashem never says it's good. But here on the third day that we're bringing a unity, the second day was a separation, a machlok is a separation between the upper waters and the lower waters. And now we're bringing the gathering the water, we're unity, we're makom echad, everything's coming together, and that's good. That's what Hashem wants, unity. What do you think?
Right, yeah. Again, we have that word mikvah, right?
Yeah.
He called the waters, right? He called yamim, seas. Our sages tell us that it should have said yam. Why did it say yamim, multiple seas? Because the fish in every locale tastes differently. That's to tell us that not every place on earth is the same. As the eye can attest to that. Another thing I thought of is very, very, Kabbalistic, if a person can hear it. It says, Vayar Elohim Kitov, right? And he saw that it was good. What does it mean, Vayar? Who cares what he saw? Right? Either it is or it isn't. What does seeing have to do anything with it?
Yeah.
So our Kabbalistic stages tell us that you emit energy and light from your face. Your mouth emits breath, your nose also. If you close your ears, there's a reverberation, but also your eyes emit something. To the point where our sages told us that 99% of people die of what's called the evil eye, and only 1% die of natural causes.
That is scary.
That's nuts, right?
Yeah.
So it's something that there's an energy that's emitted from the eyes, and a person, the Zohar says, the person that has a good eye, when he looks at something, he blesses it. A person has an evil eye, meaning like he has evil thoughts, evil intentions. When he looks at something, he curses it. So you see, Elohim, which you said is the aspect of judgment, is looking at something, but even that judgment is seeing that it's good.
Yeah, I mean, we see that in this parsha. We're coming into parsha Noach, and it's said in the Gemara, when a tzaddik curses, it's really a blessing, because the tzaddik's goal is the improvement. So he curses his grandson Canaan, but the curse, the kalala, really was a bracha, because all he wanted Canaan to improve and grow spiritually and become a tzaddik himself. So the curse in this case was to motivate Canaan to become a tzaddik, So we see so here, exactly. So Hashem, the din aspect, but everything's for the good. Everything, if you're connected to the Torah, you're looking for the best for people, and you're looking how can you do that? Like, you want to give chesed, you want to give love and kindness to people. All of us, sometimes we need that little bit of that onish. Like, sometimes we're on the wrong path, and we need the tochaka. We need someone to say, "Hey, man, just chill out. This is not good what you're doing. You need to, And we all need that. We're all, sometimes it's confusing. We don't have the clarity of the Derech Hashem, and we need to get back on that path. And sometimes we need a little bit of this, a little bit of a push back in the right direction.
Yeah, for sure. Also, another thing is that you see that God separated the waters, and there's a reason there's waves on the ocean, right? Because the waters want to come back to their natural place, which is to cover the earth. But there's an angel standing on top of each wave and striking it down, telling it, "Down, boy. Don't go and don't tsunami the world." So you see, if it wasn't for the Creator creating the world for a purpose, then things would just go into an utter state of chaos.
All right, so we'll go to the next pasuk. So the next pasuk is Vayomer Elokim Tadshe Haaretz. So, and then Elokim, he says, let the earth sprout like vegetation. So Asev Mazria Zera, and then it should be like plants that produce seeds. And then this is very interesting. He says, Eitz pri ose pri. It should be a fruit tree that produces fruit lamino according to its type. And here, the intention, the potential of the world, which we're not at yet, was that Hashem wanted every tree to grow fruit, and the whole tree should taste like fruit. The leaves, the branches, the root, the bark, everything should taste like the fruit, and that's the ultimate potential of what Hashem wants. And we're going to see, it's very interesting, and then the ground does something different. And then Asher Zaro Vo Al Haaretz Vayichim. And then they should give fruit, and then there should be a seed in it. There should be seeds in it. It's seed in it upon the land, and it was so. Powerful.
Yes, I'd say if you I just noticed right now, if you look at the word tadshe, right, ha'ar is desha. If you look at the word dash is like step on, right? It's the step on, and the grasses are being stepped on, constantly, right?
Yeah.
It says, a person shouldn't step on any kind of mitzvahs, whether he thinks they're they're great or small. It doesn't matter. It's like look at the one who commanded them, not the greatness or the smallness. You shouldn't step on them. And he uses the words dash, right? Also, like what you said, that the tree is of fruit and it produces fruit. So we're going to see in the next verse that the tree isn't of fruit. The tree isn't. Originally it was supposed to be able to. You could take of the bark and eat it and have the same taste as a fruit, but things got changed up. So this man is likened to a tree. As it says, Adam Uetz HaSadeh, a person is the tree of the field. And so originally, man was supposed to be good and live in that goodness and produce only good offspring. But because we're going to see later that man subsequently sins, then, he becomes a not good tree, meaning like a tree that's only a bark, that's bitter or whatever, you can't eat the tree, and produces fruit. The fruit sometimes good, sometimes bad. Okay, as we know, fruit in general.
It's incredible idea. I mean, it's amazing. So one thing, what you were saying about Desha, I think that's really incredible. And I don't know if we fully appreciate, like when a person has a home, a lot of times they'll put down carpet, so it'll be nice and soft and comfortable in their home. And like Hashem's done that to the whole world. Like Hashem's created these beautiful fields and all this amazing stuff. So, it'll be like the world will be like a carpet for us. It'll be like really nice. Before we go to the next pasuk, I'm going to see if I can do this. I loaded up a video just showing like the beauty, just showing the beauty, a little bit of the beauty of the Maaseh Bereishit. I thought maybe we could just play this for a moment or two. Let me see if I can bring it up here. Let's see. Here we go here. And let me see if I can find the video. Let me just make it full screen. I just want to play a moment of this video. If it's working, we'll see. You see that? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And just appreciating the beauty of Hashem's world, the variety. It's unbelievable what Hashem's created. It's all for us to enjoy. Well, take a little moment just to appreciate the beauty of what Hashem's created.
Yeah, it's amazing. Look at all that. Like if you say there's no purpose in all of that, then
and it's a shame that some people can't see. It's like by Yareh Ki Tov. Some people can't see this. They can't see that the world's good, and it's the creation. It's such a shame in some ways, So we'll go back to the pasuk here. Right, and we're going to see now, it's interesting, the earth does something very different. So the next pasuk is Vatotze haaretz deshe esev mazria zera leminehu. So that's right. So the earth brings forth this vegetation and produces seeds of every kind. But then instead of an eitz pri, instead of this fruit tree, it's just eitz, just a tree. The eitz esev pri. Asher Zoro Vo Laminehu. And it's a tree that produces fruit that has the seeds in it according to its type. Vayareh Elokim Kitov. And here again, Elokim sees, he saw it, that it was good. What's going on? why is the earth, making an audible here? It's crazy, right? It's so crazy.
Well, again, like the creation wasn't created perfect, right? Because a perfect creator could create everything perfect. But again, he created it for a purpose. The purpose is to come and choose between good and evil.
Yeah.
Right. You have to have some semblance of evil in the world for a person to come and choose. And that's the essence of all reality. The world isn't created perfect. I think we get upset at each other, upset at the world, why it's not perfect. We try to perfect it all the time by creating and inventing and looking for the next best model and all that stuff. But we don't understand that God created it in an imperfect balance, and we're here just to choose the goodness and avoid the negativity. That's within creation. And so that's the semblance of the tree being created, with the tree not being good, and it has good fruit. And I think you mentioned before when we were speaking that at the end everything will turn back to good.
I think it goes, in the mushal of like a person's like the tree, right? So the fruit tree that produces fruit, the fact that all trees will produce fruit and all people will reach, their highest state of spiritual development. That was the state of Gan Eden, the state of the Garden of Eden before Adam and Chava, before Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge. But ultimately, that's going to be the goal of all history. When, Hashem may send Mashiach soon, and we have a king in Israel, and Mashiach ben Yosef and Mashiach ben David, that begin to teach us the Torah and bring us closer to Hashem, and then everyone's elevated, and the world is then elevated to that, that total potential, where every tree will bear fruit and taste like fruit, and every person will be sweet, like the sweetness of the Torah and the mitzvos and the good midos, and it's like the whole world will reach that potential. But,
yeah, there's also I think there's a Gemara that says that a person who doesn't taste it, he sees a fruit in the marketplace, doesn't taste it, will eventually be held accountable why he didn't taste that fruit, right? And, why should it be like that, right?
I mean, Hashem wants us to enjoy this world. He created it for us to enjoy, and he told Adam and Chava, you can eat any tree. You can eat anything in the Garden of Eden. And it means the garden of pleasure, the garden of delight. You can eat anything here. I'm just asking you, don't eat this one thing. I don't think it's going to be good to, bring, the Yetzer Hara inside you. Don't bring good and don't mix good with, the evil. We want all good. We want the Eitz Chaim, the tree of life, all good. We want all good.
I think that's the essence of eating kosher. Yeah. Right, because you don't want to bring something that's deemed unkosher by God into yourself, into your being, and so that's the whole idea. Like, eat from the goodness, don't eat from what's has good and evil in it, right? Because our sages tell us that a lie can't stand if it's a complete lie. It has to have some kind of truth mixed into it, right? And so the world, there's good in it, and there's also bad, and they're mixed together. And sometimes if we don't have a heart to discern what's evil, we might look at something and point out its good side, and thinking, oh yeah, look, it's good. It has this, and this quality, and disregarding the bad side. And really, if you look at the total package, it is bad, right? What the Torah deems to us as unkosher, right, also has nutritional properties. Right, for instance, like pork or meat and cheese, it has nutritional properties, right? It will give you some kind of strength, okay? Yeah. So you can look at that aspect of it and disregard the one who commanded to not put it into you, right? And eventually, like when you do put it in, you'll see who was right. You were the creator. I saw a very interesting story by the Vilna Gaon, right, the genius of Vilna, who said, there was once a king who sent one of his servants to another king. And he said to him, whatever you do, don't bet the other king. Just go, do what I tell you, say hello, give him gifts, and come back. Do not bet the other king. So the servant went off, and he went to the other king. And as soon as he got there, everybody started laughing at him and started calling him a hunchback. Right? He said, I'm not a hunchback. What are you guys talking about? Said, no, you're a hunchback. We'll bet you $100 million that you are a hunchback. Like, oh my goodness, I can make the king so much money. I can do so much good with this. This is amazing. This is such a good opportunity, right? And so the guy, he takes him up on that offer, and they tell him, we have to strip you naked to make sure that you're not a hunchback. He says, for $100 million, I'll do it. And so, he does it, and they strip him, and they laugh at him and say, you're right, you're not a hunchback, okay? Here's $100 million, okay? Well, he goes back to the king, and he's very happy, and he's like, look, king, I got your $100 million, this is amazing. And he says, when I sent you over there, did you not think I know what I was doing? I told you don't bet that, right? Because of you, I lost $1 billion. Okay, I lost much more because I had another bet with them.
Yeah.
When I command you, do what I command. Don't do what you think is better. Okay, and that's what we need to learn. We need to learn that the world has goodness in it. Okay, but we have to follow our King. We have to follow our Father, our God, and and listen to it, because the world it's a designer world. It's designed to have these things, and we just have to choose good.
Yeah. All right, so then, and then I love that much. So then the final pasuk here is Vayihi Erev, Vayihi Boker, Yom Shlishi, and it was evening, and it was morning, and it's the third day. Sorry, third day. And right, and you want to say, or like, right, it's the crowd, like in the Jewish calendar, right? Everything begins at night. We daven Mariv. That's the beginning of the new day. So right here, we're learning Torah, and we're starting our day off, in a great way, because it's all really the what you do at night is what really begins your day. It's interesting because we don't always think about that in the Western world.
Right. The day doesn't begin at midnight, right? It doesn't begin at morning, right? Actually begins at sunset, and that's the whole theme of the world. It's chaos that turns into order.
Yeah.
Right. It's not, some people think that, everything has to be perfect. Perfect God, can he create a perfect world? No, it's a designer world. Again, it's designed for a purpose. So yeah, in the beginning, everything is dark, not good, but slowly as dawn approaches too, it's not like one shot. Dawn approaches, and anybody who's prayed in the morning, who's up early in the morning, there's a gradual change of the night sky from dark, black to darker blue, eventually lighter blue, until eventually it's very light blue, and you see the sun come up, right? And that's basically the whole theme of creation. The whole theme of creation is turning the bad into good, and that's all our job is too. It's not just follow God's dictates and do what He says, and that's it. Like we're in a circus and He's just throwing us some peanuts for following the rules, right? No, but we're actually infusing the whole world with goodness and with this light by every action, word, or thought that we have. And so we become sort of partners in creation with God.
Yeah, no, I think that's fantastic. I think we'll leave it there for day 3. And please, like, share, subscribe. We should really say at the beginning. And if anyone has any Torah questions, we would love it. We'd be more than happy to answer any Torah questions people have, and we'd love to hear from you guys. Any final words, or should we just gear up for day 4?
No, go on to day 4.
Okay, so let me stop.